7:32 now. Well, police say a South Philadelphia murder was the city's, well, it was a mob hit. That's what they think.
Yeah, reputed mob soldier Anthony Nicodemo, we pictured here, you see him right here in the gray shirt. He's in police custody. He's a person of interest in the shooting of the 50-year-old man. Now, the victim was in a pickup truck. He was right in front of his home. He's a father of two, and this may have been the result of something that happened a long time ago, some murder about 9 years ago. And there's also a second person they might be looking for as well. Dave
Schrottweiser is here. Who is this guy that got shot?
Gino Pietro, who's been a convicted drug dealer on the federal level. Been around for years, pays street tax to the mob, supposedly may have been shooting his mouth off about a mob hit from 2003, the murder of John Casasanto, called him Johnny Gans. If that in fact was the case, might explain why Anthony Nicodemo, not charged yet, might be involved. That's John Casasanto right there, some undercover video. That's the scene from November 2003, where he was murdered inside his house. This might be about that. There have been court documents saying that Anthony Nicodemo, the guy in custody now, may have been a prime suspect in that case, and in fact, clearly a person of interest. That's Nicodemo's photo from the New Jersey Casino Control Commission. He's banned from the casinos because he was indicted in the Borgata gambling case. There's Mr. Nicodemo walking with mob boss Joe Legambia at his South Philadelphia home. They lived down the block from each other. They were executing search warrants at Nicodemo's house last night. That's him talking to Joe Legambia. Legambia's on trial here in Center City.
So they say that guy, yesterday afternoon, shot a guy in front of his house.
Right in front of his house, getting into his truck in the back. Shot him in the back, 4 or 5 shots. No shell casings on the scene, I'm told, which means possibly a revolver was used, or they may have shot him from a vehicle. They are supposedly looking for another suspect that may have been dropped off before Nicodemo went to his house. This is right up there with the stupidest of all mob hits because of this. Witnesses were standing right there, including a mailman who saw the truck pull away, the SUV, got the plate number, gave it to police. Police tracked it back to Nicodemo, went to his house. They arrive as he's running through the front door. They order him out of the house, put him in custody, get a search warrant from the DA, and spent 4 or 5 hours in that house last night looking for evidence in this murder, and they're going to go through that truck and see if there's a gun in that truck as well.
Why would he possibly do this? And you mentioned, because we got the other mob trial that's going on right now. I mean, the timing. Why would you take this risk?
The timing is horrible. You're right on the money, Karen. The timing on this is horrible. The 7 or 8 guys on trial, including Joe Legambia and others, prosecution just rested their case yesterday. Their theme has been, we're not violent, there's no more violence in the mob, none of that goes on anymore. And guess what? There's a mob hit on the day the prosecution arrests. Couldn't have come at a worse time for them.
So the jury's not sequestered.
No.
But the judge says you're not supposed to be watching TV.
Right. Don't look at the front of the Daily News today. It says mob hit, who and why. Don't look at TV. It's a lead story, 5, 6, and 11, and 10 last night. I mean, it's hard for the jury not to look at it. He's going to tell them to ignore it. But if you're a juror and you're thinking they're not violent anymore, you think they're violent now.
Is this about sometimes, you know the mob very well, sometimes the pie is this big and, and there's too many pieces going out to too many individuals.
Right. Okay, so let's say right now the pie is divided into 3 pieces. The 3 guys that are currently running the mob while these guys are on trial, right? They're dividing up the pie 3 ways. If these guys get off and you believe the spin on the street from these guys that they're winning and they're going to get acquitted in this case, 7 more guys come back on the street and that pie now has to be divided 10 ways. Just theory, but something to think about.
Power and control. Wait, let's bring up the biggest name maybe in Philadelphia that we always talk about, Joey Merlino. Not in the area. We know he's down in Florida.
Right. In fact, last night he was at a popular cigar bar in Boca Raton, from what I'm told by my sources, under surveillance by police down there. And there was a big party going on, and Joey was actually working the door, from what I'm hearing.
So if they ever ask him, well, where were you during this
cigar bar with a lot of my friends having a good time in Boca Raton.
In fact, there's videotape of me.
Could be.
Yeah. All right, Dave, thank you.
Good to see you.
Appreciate
it.
Wild time. 7:36.